Hey, I'm Alex Radcliffe from Board Game Co, and today I'm reviewing Lunar from Allplay. Lunar is a 2 to 4 player trick-taking game. Although this is a little bit different than your usual 2 to 4 player, it's more of a 2 or 4 player, and honestly, in my opinion, it's more of a straight up 4 player trick-taking game. And that's because you're working on teams. You're going to be 2 teams of 2, so I'm working with my teammates to go ahead and create what we are playing. And if that sounds a little bit confusing, that's because you literally are creating what you're playing as you go. What I mean by that is you have these different suits over here. So we have 4 different suits, and then we have various numbers. We have 1 through 8, and we have 3 copies of each. So for example, you could hypothetically have multiple 8 of the green suit over there because you just pair them together as you play. The way that looks like is when you're going to go ahead and start off. Let's say I'm starting off over here, and I want to control for things, and we're going to go through a selection process. Let's go ahead and just say right now that pink is the trump suit, because you are going to go through selection process of the players, where players get a chance to turn them down, and then the suit that's remaining face up is the trump suit. I have no pink right now, but I am relying on the fact that I have only a little bit. If I have no pink, I only have 1 yellow, so there's a strong chance that the opposing team will have to play an orange, or yellow, orange, let's call it orange. There's a strong chance the opposing team is going to have to play an orange, so, and I only have 1 8, I don't know how it's going to play out. I'm going to start by playing this down. So I play down the orange, and then it gets to my teammate, and my teammate has a hand of cards, and they're going to have numbers, and, well, let's go to the other team first. The other team takes a look at their hand over here. They know that they have these cards over here, as they have an orange, and they're hoping maybe if they have an orange, maybe the opposing team, maybe their teammate does not have an orange, and they can break into trump. So they go ahead and they take a look at their numbers, and they're like, you know what, let's go ahead and see what we can do, but let's go for the long shot. Let's see if we can go ahead and just play a low number. We'll play a 2, hoping that my opponent has trump, my teammate has trump. So they pick a number from their hand, hoping their teammate has trump. By the way, this should have been, oh, there we go. Okay, great. We got that over here. We get to my opposing member over here. They have to look at their hand of numbers, so they're going to take a look at their hand, and they see over here, look at this, we have an 8. You know what? Right now, they played a 2. Right now, we know that they can only beat us with trump, so let's play a 5 and hold on to our 8. So we've now created a 5 of orange is our card, and that's only defined once both players on a team play to that suit. Which means the last player has 1 chance over here to see, because if they don't have any orange, then they will be able to go ahead and break into pink, but they unfortunately do have orange, so they have to follow suit. They play an orange, which means they played an orange 2 to our 5 orange. We're going to win. You get 1 point for the trick. You also get a point for every star on cards that you won. That's the basic idea. You're going to be going round and around, and then you're going to continue with leading the suit for the same as you would in a trick-taking game. The winning team is going to continue starting off again, and you rinse and repeat until a team gets to 30 points. That's the basic way you're going to be playing the game. You are pairing up together to create your card. You have 1 player playing a color, 1 player playing a number. Once your teammate has played one of those 2, color or number, you must play the opposite, and from there it's a little bit of card counting as you try to figure out what's still in play, and a little bit of trying to mind meld with your teammate to make sure you're playing effectively, all while you work your way towards being the team to get to 30 points first. That's Lunar. It's a cute, clever concept. I've enjoyed Lunar, but I haven't fallen in love with Lunar, and I think part of it is the game is very straightforward as to what it's doing, and I think in terms of games out there's so many trick-taking games that the hook to be compelling is getting stronger and stronger each year. The idea of what is the thing that pulls you in. There's a few small complaints I have against the game. The first is going to be I mentioned already. There's a little bit of card counting to the game experience, which could be something you enjoy. I don't love where I have to try to analyze every card available, but honestly, you will do better if you're willing to remember what, are the 8s in play? Are the yellows, are the oranges tapped out? You will do better with more card counting in this game, and while it's true in every trick-taking game, I think it's more so in this one. I also don't love the fact that it's only really playable with 4. You could play it at less players. I just think it really is a 4-player experience, which makes it a little harder to table just because you have to have the exact player count to be able to table this in its ideal form. Outside of that, it's very straightforward and very repetitive. I like it. I think it's fun. I've gone through this a few times, but I think it's one of those games that, like, the first game is kind of almost a learning experience. The second game is where it shines, and after that, it kind of relegates itself to a category where it's cute and it's clever, and I almost want to show new people, if not for the fact that I have other trick-taking games that have more clever and cute hooks that I am more interested in showing other players. Which brings to the good of the experience. The good of the experience is it does what it does well. There is something satisfying about thinking through not just how you have to manage your hand, but how your teammate has to manage theirs. That's an interesting experience that this one does very well as far as delivering. Like, you even saw me trying to work my way through all 4 players, granted, but the idea of, okay, well, you know, the trump suit's not in my hand, let's go ahead and go with an 8, and hopefully that will be able to result in us winning the suit. And I went with orange because my teammate's almost certainly going to have, there's that little bit of a balance in play, and that's true with the opposing team as well. They're like, wait a second, I don't know if I can beat this, I don't have the 8, so what if I just play a low number and hope that my teammate can go into trump? You have those kind of decisions that are slightly different than your usual trick-taking game because you're not just thinking through your own hand, you're thinking through your hand, your teammate's hand, and then how the opponents are going to manage that as well, because again, it is different than facing off against a regular player. So overall, it is a good game, it's a satisfying experience. I just think it's mostly overshadowed by other trick-taking games that I just enjoy more. I'm coming in at a 3.5 out of 5 on this one. As far as other game recommendations, if you're looking for a very clever trick-taking game that has you creating reality as you go, because this very much has that, because again, you could have multiple 8s of the same suit because of the way you pair things up, and that shifts up the way you typically approach a trick-taking game. And if you're looking for that but on steroids, definitely check out Cat in the Box. That is very much going to have players literally creating reality as they play. And if you're looking for a team-based trick-taking game, I highly recommend Teach You as a slightly zany but very satisfying card-shedding experience where you really have to be on the same wavelength as your teammate, but in a whole different type of game. Well, not totally different because it's like trick-taking and shedding, but same, just a different game experience. In any case, until next time, I'm Alex Radical from Board Game Co. I hope you found this video helpful, and as always, I hope you have a good one.